Hi, welcome to the Module 4 of the Data Migration Framework course. I am Krupesh Desai, your trainer for this course and the author of the book Data Migration Framework. In this training, we will learn about the second component of the data migration phase, that is, the go live. This is the moment where the value of this framework truly shines. Surprises in data migration activity during the go live day can cause significant delays and cost. The value proposition of the data migration framework described in my book is all about ensuring no surprises on the go live day. Following the foundation and iteration component of the data migration framework will empower you as a project manager with confidence in your data migration processes, with precise timeline and resources needed to execute end-to-end data migration on the go live day. So let's look at what needs to be done for the go live. First of all is the big day. You have done everything right that you could using this framework. You have set the foundation right, you have done many iterations, and also implemented robust testing to eliminate all possible issues and risks. However, Go Live is your judgment day, where the cutover from the legacy system to the new world take place, and hopefully leading to a better system and a brighter future. In data migration, the Go Live day is the culmination of all your efforts, is the day when everything you have meticulously planned comes to the conclusion, and that conclusion of the Go Live is not just about flipping a switch. The go live process itself needs careful planning and a series of steps to switch off a significant legacy business system that has been operational for one or more decades and subsequently switch on the new system for the next few decades. The go live process is carefully orchestrated and well coordinated sequence of actions. First, to decommission the legacy business system and then to deploy the new system with minimum possible impact on the business continuity. Data migration is mandatory cutover activity in the target system's deployment checklist on the go live day. A deployment checklist is a comprehensive list of all activities necessary to deploy a system or application to its target environment. Cutover activities are part of broader deployment checklist that initiates the transition from old system. This cutover activities include shutting down the old system, its integrations, and migrating data, and finally conducting smoke testing. To ensure the highest data integrity, execute the data migration after ensuring no user can log in to the legacy system. All integrations are disabled and no insert, update, or delete operations are possible on the legacy database. On the other hand, once data is migrated, you can only declare it a success once the target system is switched on with the migrated data and a smoke test is conducted in the new system to ensure things are working as expected. I mentioned smoke testing on the last two slides, and this is what I meant by it. It's a basic health check and a brief verification of system functionality. What I mean by smoke test is to smell around and ensure nothing is burning after you switch on the lights for your new floor. So, we have so far covered the basics of Go Live. Let's look at what is required to execute one. Data migration has a lot of pre and post requisite activities that makes it a success. Therefore, to manage the go live day effectively, having a RACI matrix with each activity listed is highly desirable. I'm using RACI matrix here, which stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. You can choose your preferred alternatives to this RACI matrix as you wish, but start preparing the matrix well in advance before the go live to ensure the stakeholders know their roles and responsibilities. This preparation ensures that all key resources are available when needed to prevent any interruptions on the big day. The deployment checklist can vary depending on the various factors. However, you can categorize all deployment activities into the following groups. First, you start by taking a full backup of the legacy system, including the database and application. This acts as a safety net in case of any unexpected issues. After that, you disable your system integrations. This is where you turn off all upstream and downstream integrations in the legacy system to stop any data flow during the migration. This step is critical for ensuring data integrity. The next step is to prepare network and infrastructure to support the new system. This may include updating firewalls, changing routes, and verifying sufficient bandwidth. Once the prerequisites are done, you will finally execute the data migration, where you will move the data from the legacy system to the new system according to the defined migration plan. After the data migration, you need to perform smoke testing by running basic tests on the new system to confirm that essential functionalities are working properly and no critical issues exist. After the successful smoke test, you will finalize the infrastructure setup to ensure the new system's network and infrastructure configurations are completed and ready for operational use. And once the infrastructure is ready to support operational activities, you will activate the new system. And of course, you will also re-enable all the integrations, restoring upstream and downstream data flow between the new system and connected applications. On the go live day, ensure everything is on track as planned. For a significant legacy system with multiple decades in production and several downstream dependencies, compiling a list of steps in each category listed on the previous slide with RACI metrics will quickly lead to an extensive checklist in an Excel file that you have to run through on the go live day with the support from internal and external team members. Therefore, with many variables around, one should be ready for surprises on the big day and have clear criteria to denote the success or failure of each activity and the group as a whole. For example, a legacy business application may have multiple downstream integrations, and one integration may fail to switch off and unhook from the legacy system, or it failed to switch on with the new system after several attempts. Mind the fact that you are passing through downtime and do not have days or weeks to investigate issues that magically appears on the go live night. Every minute matters during this phase. In case of surprises or partial success of any step, the deployment checklist should include some time, let's say 20 to 30 minutes, as a contingency to investigate any issue or doubt in executing the activity in the deployment checklist. I remember waiting for my turn in a giant deployment checklist for my first data migration go live day, and then stealing the show for the next few hours. After every step, we had a clear and straightforward flag, go or no go, to indicate the current status and whether the checklist next step should be executed or not. Therefore, I recommend to follow the practice of go or no go flags in your deployment checklist for the go live day and add sufficient checkpoints and time to not just once, twice, but triple check everything before moving to the next step. Secondly, in the case of no go call during the transition, you should have a clear rollback plan based on the current transition stage. Think about what would happen if things went south in the category number 6, that is, finalize infrastructure setup on the go live day. What would be the sufficient contingency time for the responsible people to investigate and fix issues before a whole bunch of people can call it a day waiting for their turn and eventually keep a critical business application offline for business transactions? Therefore, accommodate clear communication with go and no-go calls for all stakeholders in the deployment checklist RACI, coupled with the several thought-through checkpoints that give you breathing space to access the progress and decide whether to proceed or not. To conclude, I would say the key to successful go live is meticulous planning, collaboration, and execution. The cutover day is the ultimate test of your implementation of the data migration framework described in this course. It's the day when all your planning, testing, and iterations come together. If you have followed the foundation and iteration component of the framework with a robust testing strategy, you will feel prepared and ready to hit the ground running on the go live day. So, by preparing and following a deployment checklist with RACI and ensuring thorough preparation, you can transition smoothly from the legacy system to a new, better world if you have the answers for the following questions. Believe me, the feeling of executing successful go live is amazing and fulfilling. I wish you all will experience this feeling in the near future. Thank you for participating in this training. I hope you are ready to execute a successful go live in your project. Please continue on the next video about the post migration activities.